Welcome back again to the Owen Handy Show. I'm Harold Bolton, sports editor George Bremer. With me this week again is AU men's basketball coach Owen Handy and our special guest, guard Cameron Etzler. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did. You're good to go.
All right. You never know with me. You got to be good. It's been a pretty interesting week. Coach Handy, I'll let you take and kind of describe to people how this week went for the Ravens and yourself.
Yeah, it's been an unusual week. At the end of the game on Wednesday, I had words with the conference official at the game, and really stupid move on my part, and got suspended for the game on Saturday. So it was suspended from practice Thursday, Friday, and the game on Saturday. So definitely not the smartest thing I've ever done. Probably, if I were making a top 10 list of the stupidest things I've done, it's probably not in the top 5, but it's very close. So, but obviously have a terrific assistant coaching staff and players on the team that we trust, and they did a great job on Thursday and Friday getting ready and then competing Saturday, and came up with I think a pretty impressive win. Yes. So definitely embarrassed, but glad to be back.
Kim, what was practice like without coach after Wednesday?
It was interesting. He's obviously bringing a lot of energy to practices, and I felt that, like, with him not being there, I felt our captains really stressed that even though he's not there, we still have to go just as hard as he was chasing us around the gym. So I felt that our energy was really good. We were really loud, really energetic. So I felt we filled the void pretty well.
Coach, I know that Wednesday was a loss, but to go over to Mount St. Joe and really the first conference game for a lot of this roster, play a competitive game, have a rally that fell just a little bit short. How important was that for this team? How do you grade that game overall for especially this young team?
Yeah, if we can take the outcome off, which obviously we can't, I was pretty pleased. We started out with a 4-0 lead, and then over a period of 5.5 minutes, from 18.5 until 13, they outscored us 19-0. So we were down 19-4 with a little over half of the first half yet to play, and started to play better, chipped away at that lead, got it down to 10 going into the half, and came all the way back and had a 1-point deficit. I think we had a 1-point lead a couple times late, but had the ball 8 seconds to play, down by 1 with a chance to win it. So a lot of real positives. Obviously Mount St. Joe was picked to win our league. They do a really good job of defending their home court, and Coach Kerrigan is a fantastic coach. They're really disciplined. They make you pay for every mistake you make. And they're a team that plays really, really hard all the time. I've got great respect for Toby and for how his team plays. So from that perspective, to be able to make the comeback we did, and our 2 starting guards went 5 of 22 shooting, which we don't expect to happen too often. So to make the comeback we made, all things considered, is a real positive. What we've got to take away from it is the intensity and focus that's required to play on the road, and to play tough conference games at home too. You just can't dig yourself a hole early, because it makes it really, really hard to get where you want to at the end of the game.
Kim, what is about this team that not only allows it to come back within a game like that, but then to bounce back on Saturday, put that loss behind you, put anything else that happened during the week behind you, score 113 points, and get your first conference win on your own court?
I think that's one really positive thing about our team, is that even though we are very young, I feel like even with that youth, we're still very mature as a team. We have a lot of high basketball IQs on our team, and we realize that we can't do anything about that last game. It's in the past. You just have to turn the page and move on to the next one. And I think just realizing that the next game is another opportunity to prove that we're in our minds, one of the better teams in the league, that I think we took full opportunity of that.
Coach, you drop out of conference play again now for one game on Wednesday night, trying here. It's a state school. What do you know about them, and what's the importance of this contest?
First thing I know is that they're a really good basketball team. They come in with 1 loss, and their loss is to a really good Ohio Northern team, a top 5 ranked Ohio Northern team. So they've got a really exceptional senior front court player by the name of Jared Holmquist, who is as good, and he's not a true post-up player, although he can score on the post. He's as good a forward as we'll play against all year. And they've got a scoring guard named Will Dixon, who's really, really shifty, quick with the basketball, knocks down shots from the perimeter, and they've got guys who fill their roles really well around those two. So they've got 2 stars, but they're a really good team. They're a tough defensive team, and they're really disciplined, really methodical in their half-court offense. They get great shots almost every possession. So, one of the things we try to do in our non-conference slate is to schedule some games that I think of as comparable to top 4 teams in our leagues, teams that we're going to have to beat if we want to win our conference. And Trine is one of those. I mean, they are tough, they're talented, they play really hard, they've got some shot makers on their team. So it's a really good early season non-conference test for us to see how we stack up with a team that's good enough that they could compete to win our league. They'll compete to win their league. So it's an exciting game. I mean, I'm looking forward to it, to the intensity of it, and to the competitiveness of it.
And then on Saturday again, back on the road, going to Transylvania, back into conference play. 1-1 in the conference. Is it important to get over 500 at this point?
Yeah, I think the bigger picture than thinking about getting over 500 is thinking about continuing to progress and to grow as a team. Focusing more on that and less on the outcome of the game. I think that Transylvania trip's always a tough one. It's a little over 4 hours to get there. We'll leave pretty early in the morning, and but we've won there the last 2 years, so it's a place we've got some comfortability, a place we've had some success, and I think obviously optimistic going into all our games because we need to be. We're a talented team, and we should have confidence in who we are and what we're capable of. And I would say, to me, that game's no different.
Cam, it's obviously been an exciting season so far, 4-1. A lot of high-scoring games for this team, a fun team to watch. How tough, though, is it for you? You got one of the best seats in the house, but to be watching from the bench right now.
It's tough, obviously, just with all the off-season work I put in this year. Starting this season, getting back on campus and being around the guys and getting to know them and playing with them in open gyms. It's tough because I obviously, being a competitor, I want to be out there. But I feel like I just had to change my role on the team. I have to be more of an encourager, kind of occasionally a teacher when the time comes, and just constantly just being able to talk to the guys. I think that's just the biggest thing, just constantly having that interaction with them, because with having those 9 freshmen, they're being put in some situations that they're uncomfortable with, and not knowing some of the technicalities that coach has, just readjusting to them from an old coach that I have experience with, just being here for a second year. So I think just hearing it from a different voice than coach sometimes can connect the dots a little bit better. So I've just had to readjust my role this year.
Do you feel like, too, can some part of you kind of impress upon them how precious it is, the opportunity they have?
Oh, yeah, and I haven't talked to them much about it, but seeing them put 113 points and averaging 100 points a game at home, and I would love to be out there diving for loose balls and just getting this crowd behind us, because our crowd's been great this year. But I hope that they can kind of understand that the game could be taken away from you very quickly, and just to cherish every moment that you have playing it. But I think they're living it up right now. Everyone always talks about how they love coming to our games on Wednesdays and Saturdays. I think they're really enjoying the spotlight right now.
Coach, what's it going to take this week for the Ravens to be successful?
Yeah, I think the first thing is we got to renew our emphasis on, obviously we put a lot of points up, but we've got to keep getting better defensively. Even on Saturday, there were some stretches where we weren't rotating to help quickly enough. The ball got to the rim too easily, and I thought we got beat on the basketball more than we should have. So we've got to continue to improve at that end of the floor, so that when we do play a tough game and don't make shots, our defense can carry us a little bit. So that's probably our big focus this week.
All right, guys, thanks a lot for joining us. And as always, tip time here on Wednesday night at 7:30 against Trine.